Good morning and welcome to the Syncfusion webinar, Benefits of Your Global License. My name is Marisa Keller-Outen. I'm the Director of Business Development at Syncfusion and your moderator for today's webinar. Our presenter today is Pat Staley, Client Relations Manager here at Syncfusion. If you have any questions, you can enter them into the questions box on the right side of the screen at any time. We'll answer the questions at the end of the session and we'll also post the entire Q&A on our blog. We are recording this webinar and will share the link in the next few days. All registrants will receive an email with this link. This and previous webinars are available on our YouTube channel. Before we begin, I'd like to tell you briefly about Syncfusion. Syncfusion delivers an extensive range of over 800 web, mobile, and desktop controls. We also empower businesses to get the most out of their data with our enterprise solutions, including the dashboard and big data platforms. We've been in business for over 15 years and are headquartered in the Raleigh-Durham area of North Carolina in the U.S. We have more than 12,000 customers, including large financial institutions, Fortune 100 companies, and global IT consultancies. More than 1 million users from 125 countries trust Syncfusion in their development process. Now that you know a bit more about us, I'll hand this over to Pat to get started.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Marisa, for that kind introduction. Everyone, welcome to the seminar, and we're excited to talk about Syncfusion and the global license that we offer. Just as an FYI, we have folks that are sitting ready to answer any questions that you have, so by all means, type anything that you would like to know in the chat box, and the team will be more than glad to take care of answering those questions. As Marisa said, my name is Pat Staley, and I'm the Client Relations Manager here at Syncfusion, and it is my honor to chat about the license structure that we have at Syncfusion. The agenda for today is what is included in my global license, what about support, how can I make it more cost-effective, what about consulting, why settle for just the primary colors when you can have every color in the box. And then we're going to have a Q&A session at the end. But again, remember, if you have any questions at all, by all means, go ahead and type them in the box, the chat box, and we'll get them answered for you. So let's dive in. What is included in my global license? Our website is really the best place to take a look at just how great this license is. For you, the end user, it means that we're not counting heads. It does not matter how many folks you have working on your project. Anybody at all, as many projects as you want, enterprise-wide, they would be covered. This is a really, truly great asset to your business because it means for whatever your road planning is and road mapping is for future development, we have it covered all the way back to your legacy products that you've been working with. They're covered as well. So that's the number one best way to describe your global license is there's no more worry about who's working. Everybody is taken care of. But not only does it make the difference in the number of users, it also means that everything that's included in the Syncfusion toolkit absolutely is yours to work with. Every grid, assembly, component, big data dashboard, big data platform, and the report server are all included. So in thinking about that, let's say that any division in your company needs to visualize their data. By all means, you can pull the report, any reports that you need to have so that they can see it in a visualization form. HR, AP, your inventory, the development that you're working on, the future development you're working on. All you have to do is think outside of the box about how you would like to do this. And it's paid for, it's covered. You don't have to worry about going out and trying to find another resource or tool for that. The last bullet on our list is the client relations team. When you purchase a global license, you are getting the client relations team at Syncfusion. These folks are your first stop, single stop resource for anything that you need in regards to product education, to servicing your Syncfusion license, to support. It means that you no longer have to go through multiple other folks. You're assigned a representative and it streamlines your communication. So what about support? I tell my training classes whenever we have new hires that in the early days of Syncfusion it was really interesting because you had a single user license, and that single user license was dedicated to whatever that one project that they were doing. But as businesses and processes evolve and grow, you need to make sure that everybody is on the same page and that your support is transparent, and it needs to be single-threaded. We have created a portal, and in that portal you can assign all of your users so that any email conversations that are going on, everyone can see it. That's in regards to patches, to fixes. There's not going to be any downtime for lack of communication. Everybody has that opportunity to see what's going on and interject if they're seeing something that they need to respond to. As the portal admin, you have the ability to create different user levels so that if you want someone to assign additional users, you can grant them a power user level. If you want somebody to just see all of the technical emails, then you can create a technical admin. If you have procurement that is the administrator and they really don't want to get all those emails, that technical admin user is just really beneficial. So again, it's thinking of ways to make sure that your time is saved and everything is as efficient as possible. What happens if you have a project and it's running on an older version and you see some really cool components and you're thinking about your next level of work that you want to do, whatever the next new development that you're working on, you can have as many versions of Syncfusion as you want. So if you're running a system and it's a legacy system and you don't want to mess with it, it's stable, everything looks well, and it would be just too costly to move out of that, the current way you have it set up, by all means, give us a call, send us an email. We will walk you through setting up a new portal so that you can have a newer version if you want. That way you get to take advantage of everything that you want and need. Turnaround acknowledgement of an incident within 24 hours. This is very crucial for everyone to understand. This does not mean that we're going to resolve your problems in 24 hours, but what it does mean is that you'll get an acknowledgement from our development team that says we recognize and we see that you have a problem. The hours that we provide support here in the U.S. are Monday through Friday, and we have folks pretty much in the office around 6:30 Eastern Time all the way up to 7, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. But if you have an incident or if you need resolution, our folks are available to be on the phone pretty much 24/7 if that is what's needed for you to have your incident taken care of. We arrange meetings through GoToMeeting, and so that everybody is all on the same page. That is not our standard support. That can only be arranged through your client relations rep and to make sure that everybody's schedules work out best. For our folks who are in Australia and New Zealand and Eastern and Western Europe and Asia, we want you to know you're covered. We take care of your time zone and do the best we can to work with your schedule. For our developers in Chennai, India, their workday is Monday through Friday, again the same hours, but that is India Standard Time. At the end of the day, your client relations team is here and they are the liaison that you have for whatever need that you would have. So how can you make it more cost effective? This is basic accounting, if you will. If I have a license, and let's for simple math use a value of $5,000, and I am paying for the full price of that license. Because this is enterprise-wide and we do not care how many projects are using this license, you're talking to your cohort who has running another project maybe on a different platform, or maybe it's the same project and it is a different platform. And you're telling them about the Syncfusion tools, and he said, I didn't know about that, or she said, I didn't know about that. We can arrange an overview for them to see what is included in the toolkit that you have. And they decide to move forward with some of the components using Syncfusion. From a budget point of view, this means that you can now split your cost with them. So you've gone from paying $5,000 to paying $2,500. Let's say a third project comes on or a fourth. It is a way to make sure that the price is the same, and again, the budget cost for your project gets reduced. So that's one of the ways that we can help you to save money. So oftentimes we don't think about the cost of contracting and having duplicate contracts for the same service. Overhead is expensive, and so you think about the folks who have to vet these contracts and make sure that the terms are correct and the negotiations are correct. All of that has a cost wrapped around it. When you look at the Syncfusion license and everything that is included in it, so many folks that work with us say, I did not know that was included. We have that same product, that same tool, and we're using company X to get it. This is costly for your company. So single source contracting is really important and very beneficial. Consistency in expert performance. When you think about the fact that you have the same set of tools that are working across all of your different platforms and all of your different departments, it means that there is a level of surety in knowing what you're getting. The folks that you're dealing with support, the manner in which you get the support answers, how that communication goes from one to the other is paramount to good business. And so we want to make sure that absolutely it is consistent. By having Syncfusion across your entire enterprise ensures that. It's just stability, and that's one of the best things that you can have in your business. So what about consulting? I've talked a lot about our development and what we do and in regards to support. Our consulting team is like having a silent employee working in the background. Our team of experts are available for you if you have a project and you need the additional resources to get it finished or to even do it in the first place. They have expert knowledge around all of the platforms, and it's enormously cost effective. All that it requires on our side is that you get us and you send us a set of requirements, and then we take time to mock it up. Once that mock-up is done, we give you the idea of cost and time, and then our project managers make sure that everything is followed up and taken care of. As I said earlier, we have meetings, go-to-meetings, so that you have one-on-one conversations with the development team to make sure what we're doing is exactly the path that you need it to go down. And that's what we do on a regular basis. Our teams are set up to make sure that the interpretation of what you want is exactly realized in what we deliver. And all of that is at a cost of $35 an hour. And that's pretty amazing, so that you can get a project done very cost effectively with expert tools and expert knowledge. And again, that silent employee working in the background to make sure that everything is done and taken care of. At the end of the day, have you explored all of the colors in your box? When we talk to our folks and our clients and we listen to what they say and we work with them, often we hear, I didn't know Syncfusion had that. I didn't know that was included. If I had known, I would have, and that is what we're here to share with you today. So whether you're doing mobile, desktop, a web application, whatever you need, explore Syncfusion, because we have what you're looking for your development needs. Whether you're developing internally or commercially, every department in your company has unlimited access to all of our controls, including the enterprise solution and support. Again, as I said earlier in the conversation, we want to make sure that all of your company takes advantage of the dashboard or the report server, the big data platform. These tools are enormously easy to use. They give you the ability to drill down into data very quickly. Our teams are available to help you set those up, and they can be as simple as looking at a couple of different data sources to as complex as looking at your data from a worldwide perspective. I can't even begin to express just how dynamic these tools are and how incredibly helpful they are to your business in helping you to see what you need to see. And oftentimes looking at data sources from in different areas, bringing it all into a consolidated view. But most of all, it's paid for. In conclusion, in thinking about the global license, in thinking about everything that you're getting, you've paid for this license. Open it up. Look at all of the different colors that are in your box of 64. Don't look at just the 3 colors that you're using, those primary colors. We will be more than glad to explore exactly how to use all of those tools and the resources that you have. We want to also share with you that the way that you get in touch with your client relations team is at clientrelations@syncfusion.com. That's plural. We have engineers and product specialists that are here that will help you to answer any questions on how best use practices, how to take advantage of what's in your license. We'll be more than glad to set up the overviews so that you can see that. And with that, I thank you all, and I'm going to turn it back over to Marisa.
Great. Well, thanks, Pat. I appreciate that. Now we're going to go ahead and start the Q&A session. If you're in the audience and you haven't yet submitted your questions, please do so now. And if we don't get to all of them today, don't worry. We'll be including them in a Q&A in our blog shortly. So let's go ahead and look at the questions box. I'm just expanding that right now. So the first question, this is a good general question. Why are you having this webinar today?
We're having this webinar today to explain the global license and how folks are able to take advantage of all of the resources that are available within that license structure.
Okay, and the next one in the question window I have is, our business line is in healthcare and we require that we obtain business agreements with contractors and vendors. Has Syncfusion signed these kinds of business agreements in the past?
Yes, we have. And if you have, we have non-disclosure agreements, we have the, depending on what you're looking to do, we have consulting agreements as well as statements of work that we can work around whatever it is that you're looking to do and help you in those avenues.
Okay, another question from Warren. Hello, can I use my global license to create software that has Syncfusion controls embedded and then sell to my clients, or does that require a reseller or runtime license?
That is a really good question. So we want you to sell to the to your clients, absolutely. Our client relations team will be glad to help you if you have any questions in the whole. Everything revolves around the fact, will your client be able to change any of that code? And so your client relations rep will help you out with that question. And I'll be more than glad to answer any more on that if need be.
Another question we have here is, what is a global license?
A global license encompasses everything that's included in our Essential Studio package. I believe at the beginning of the presentation, Marisa, you said that there are over 800 components, if that's correct. It also means that you have access to all of the Syncfusion Plus license products, and that is our big data platform, our dashboard, our report server, and our data integration. And all of those different products have different ways that they're used. So you have They include the number of servers, it includes number of nodes, and all of the parts and pieces that are in those individual licenses. You have access to all of those, unlimited access to all of those.
Great. And move on to some other questions I have here. When does my license expire?
If you will go and take a look out into your portal, you can log in and you can check the expiration date of your individual license.
Who is my client relations representative?
If you will email the client relations at syncfusion.com, and that's plural, so it's client relations at syncfusion.com, your client relations rep will reach out to you.
How can I get myself added to a portal?
Oh, that's a really great question. So there's a couple of different ways. If you know who the project manager of your portal is, then by all means you can talk to them and they'll send us a note and we can add them, or they can add you themselves. If you don't know who your admin is, or you're interested in creating a new project, then by all means reach out to the client relations team at syncfusion.com. I'm saying that a lot, and we will be able to help get that set up and make sure that you have all of the versioning and everything that you need.
Great. And I have another question here from Gregor. What about free license for companies with 5 developers less than $1 million? What is the time of, I think they mean expiration of that license.
So there isn't an expiration on that license, and we will, Gregor, if you will forward your information, we'll have the sales team reach out to you and chat with you about how that license is structured. There are some restrictions in regards to the Syncfusion Plus products in regards to that license structure.
So another question here. It shows my license is expired. How do I get this updated?
If you will reach out to the client relations team, that's apparently the common answer here. We will get that updated for you. And so let me back up just a second. You also can reach out to your portal administrator if you know who that is, and they can make sure that the individual license is updated.
Why don't I see the global license under my orders?
We have that question asked a lot. In a lot of companies, you may have procurement or an accounting department that's taking care of actually paying for that license, and that's who the license needs to be sent to. And the global license is a placeholder. The individual licenses that reside under that global license are the ones that gets assigned to the portal. So you won't see anything that actually says, you may not see anything that says global, but the person who actually is responsible for procuring that license would be the one that would hold it.
We have another follow-up question from Warren. He says, excellent, this is good to know. I know that we have a license that covers us for our Prophecy IoT offering, which will contain the ability to have clients change the code, but we also have another solution offering that we just want to embed the Gantt chart as example into a solution. The client would not have ability to make any changes to the Gantt chart as to the data source or settings other than what we program, quote, in the box.
That would be great. And Warren, if you're looking, it sounds like you probably need to have a new portal set up. So if you will reach out to us, we can help get that taken care of so that you can move forward with that. And then we can also talk about whatever you need in regards to the structure of what you're doing and help out.
Is the purchase price a one-time fee?
The global license is a subscription model, and so it is not a one-time fee unless you have something that has been previously negotiated. So it's a subscription model.
Is support charged separately?
No, support is included. And Marisa, thank you for that question, because that also brings up what is support. and what would be considered consulting if you wanted to have something done. If you have a feature request that you would like to see done, that it would be done automatically. There wouldn't be a charge for that unless you need it escalated. And then anything that is support that you need taken care of, there is not a charge for that either. A lot of folks would consider that, consulting or additional development costs, and we do not. That's included.
So I've got a question from Alex. We develop products. If we want to use the dashboard, does our client need to buy the dashboard server, or is that royalty free?
That is royalty free, and you know what? Before I answer that, what I would love to do, me personally, is have more information about that and how you want to deploy that. And so, Alex, if you would be kind enough to send me a note, I will be glad to get in touch with you and walk you through that process.
I have contractors that do my development. Are they covered by the global license?
They absolutely can be. So at the point of your, when you look at your master services license agreement that you, or the SFMLA, I'm sorry, it is the master services agreement, and you have asked to have your third-party contractors included, they can be with, and that's not a problem. If you have any questions on whether or not they are, we want to make sure that that it's covered in your agreement. So give us a call and we'll walk over to our legal team and make sure that everything is covered with that.
What is the benefit of including all my users in my portal?
The best way to describe it is if you have, it is the clearest, cleanest way of communication. It is without question, everybody gets updates in a uniform fashion and manner. You get the patches all delivered at the same place at the same time. It truly is the hub for whatever it is that's going on with that particular incident.
Oh, we got a question here in the questions box from Arjan. He asks, is there a time limit? I'm not sure what he's referring to. Maybe the global license, possibly, or the community license?
So the global license, it's all determined at the point of whenever you agree to the license. It's usually annually, but some of our folks want to have a several-year locked-in agreement so that they can have access to this in an unlimited manner regarding time. So it all depends on what you have arranged at the point of sale.
Okay, yeah, he said yes. So I think you covered that. Can you tell me more about the client relations department?
Sure. We have different departments in this division. We have account managers, and those are the client relations team. And they're going to work with you to make sure that you have everything you need in regards to service, support, product education, and to help you get that return on investment that I spoke of earlier. They are available. They are your primary and first point of contact after your sale at Syncfusion. So again, to streamline any issues or incidences that you have, I strongly encourage you to reach out to us first. Well, actually, register your incident in the portal, attach whatever files, screenshots, whatever you have, and then reach out to your client relations rep so that they can follow up with you and also follow up with the development team to make sure that everything is going along fine. If you reach, Daniel Joyner is our team lead on the client relations side, and he gets all client relations emails as well as I do, and so he will make sure that your rep knows to reach out to you, and we would, if you contact us, we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Great. If I have a flat license, do I have to update Syncfusion with users as I need to add them to the portal?
We do not need to be notified at all. Once you have had your portal set up, the training done for how to use everything, then you should be good to go to add as many as you want and to do what you need to do. But with that said, we are always available. So anytime that you have a question or a need, please reach out to us. Also, your client relations rep should be reaching out to you very frequently just to make sure that everything is good, to give you a heads up with any new development that we're doing, also making sure that, if you have any incidences that that we're checking in on you and being your trusted advisor and advocate.
Why would I want to create a new portal each time I start a new project?
So this is a great organizational feature, and what it does, it keeps your development segregated so that if you have one area that's working on one project and another one working on a different one, they're autonomous, so they can't see what's happening. They stay focused and it's mainstream to whatever the project is that they're working on. It also helps you from a manager's point of view, if you're the administrator, to check and see how many incidents you're having with the particular project that it belongs to. It gives you the ability to assign your users with those privileges that I spoke of in regards to who do you want to have what power and authority. It really is it's just the best path for transparency and communication that we put in place for you.
Do I have to assign a platform or component to each project? What if I have multiple components being used on one project?
So the only time that Syncfusion is ever going to ask you to associate a platform or a component with a project is during the incident creation. You can have as many controls or components on one project as you want. We absolutely, it's your tool and you do whatever it is that you need to do. But only if the components are using the same version. So again, everything is version controlled. So you want to make sure that whatever platform you're using, that you want to maintain that particular version. You'll need to maintain that particular version of the software.
Can my developers create new portals on their own?
Only the portal admin can create a new portal. So I say that, and then let me back up and say this. So if you have somebody, another project or division that wants to create a portal, that does not mean that they have to have one, that it has to be the same portal admin. It means that it would be, again, autonomous and independent. But if you are working within one project, then no other user can create another portal inside of that project.
You're welcome. Arjun said thank you. I have one last question here. So once again, I just want to encourage attendees to post any other questions that they have. Do my developers all log into the same portal to access licenses or components?
So each developer, each user is going to have their own specific login and account, personal login, and that is using whatever you've created for them, and it's an email login. And so they can obtain their license if they have the ability to obtain their licenses. We have some companies that actually dole those out to prevent piracy, to create incidents, and then to download whatever versions they need.
Pat, are there any other things you think our attendees should know about before we start heading to sign off in a few minutes?
So one last thought in regards to this, Syncfusion, in thinking about what you do with your business, our goal has always been to partner with all of our clients and to make sure that as a good partner in a relationship that we provide whatever it is that you need. And that's not only with the toolkit that you get, the assemblies, grids, controls, and all of the Syncfusion Plus products, but it's with your people, with the employees here at Syncfusion. When we say that we want to be your trusted advisor and we want to make sure that you're taken care of, that is very heartfelt. We have built strong relationships with many of the folks that we work with, and we want to be, and we are with a lot of our clients. We want to be part of that planning process so that if you're working on the next new thing for your company, that you think of us first and that you can come to us with questions, and it is that fresh idea of this is what we want to do, what do you all have that will help us? With the global license, it gives you freedom to think outside of the box, your crayon box, as I used as my example today in the running theme of today's session, because that's what makes your business great. We want to help you to do that very thing, and that is what you can count on with the Syncfusion development team and the folks that are helping you with support and taking care of everything that you need on this end. We are honored to be your partner.
Great. Well, thank you, Pat, so much for presenting, and attendees, we really appreciate your time. Once again, if you have any questions, you always can feel free to reach out to us, and watch your email inboxes for a link to recording of this presentation. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and we look forward to having you join us at the next webinar.
Thank you.